Let's look at this particular animation. First we are trying to find the first decreasing element, then the next larger element for 4, then we are swapping it, and then we are reversing this part. Hello guys, welcome back. Today I have this problem from Leetcode 31, next permutation. Here we are given an array of integers and we have to find the next permutation sequence for this particular arrangement. If you go through this particular description, you will get to know that it is actually possible to find the next permutation sequence in O of n time. Okay, so let's look at this particular animation. First we are trying to find the first decreasing element, then the next larger element for 4, then we are swapping it, and then we are reversing this part. Let's look at this number again. Next permutation for this particular number is 158513467. Okay, how can we get it? This is actually very simple. If you look at this particular sequence 1 3 5 6 7, they are all in increasing order. Okay, so first we find the first element which is in the decreasing order, which is 4. Okay, so 4 is our first element which is in the decreasing order. Okay, so after finding this element, what we do, we find the next element which is greater than 4 in this particular part. Okay, and if you see this, the next greater element for 4 is 5, right? So we will do what? What we'll do here, we'll swap this 4 and 5. Okay, so after swapping this number, so we'll say next greater element here. Let me see. Next greater element is 5. Okay, now what we did, we swap. Okay, so after swapping, this number will be, this will be 5 and this will be 4, right? After swapping, we will reverse this particular sequence. Okay, yeah, so after reversing 76431, which is 13467, we got the next permutation. Okay, so let's do a small modification to this particular step. Okay, so I'll remove this. So first we will find the first element which is in the decreasing order, which is 4. Okay, after finding this, we will have this two part. So I'll write 1584. Okay, 1584, and after that 76531. So what we'll do, I'll reverse this 76531. Okay, so which is 1 3 5 6 and 7. After that, I will find the next greater element for 4, which is 5, of course, right? And then I will swap it. So 5 and 4. Now you see, this is the exact number that we found earlier also, right? I hope this is clear. Now let's go through some of the examples here. So for 1 2 3, if we start from the end, 2 is the first element which is in the decreasing order, and the second part is 3, only one element. So we reverse that, it doesn't affect, right? Find the next greater element for 2, which is 3, of course. We swap it, so 132. This is the answer. Okay, now example 2, 3 2 1. This is actually interesting because there is no decreasing element, right? In this case, we don't have to find the next greater element and we are not swapping it. In fact, we are just reversing this part, complete part, we are just reversing it. Okay, and now for 115, this is the first decreasing element, of course. 1 is the first decreasing element, and again this is the same scenario we saw it here, right? So we just we reverse the 5, of course, so doesn't matter, and now we swap 1 5, which is 151. Okay, so yeah, so we have a edge case here. Okay, we don't want to swap the numbers when we don't find any decreasing sequence. Okay, so this is one thing that we have to keep that in mind. Okay, yeah, so finally if I dissect this particular problem, then I definitely have to have a swap method, and also I have to have a reverse method, right? So yeah, so let's go ahead and write the code. Okay. Yeah, before even doing that, let's do a sanity check. Actually, if we see the constraint is 1 less than equal to length less than equal to 100. That means at least one element will be there. But if only one element is there, then we just want to return that particular sequence, right? We don't want to do anything. Okay. So if nums dot length equal to 1, then return. We don't want to do anything. Okay, fine. So I'll start with int I equal to nums dot length minus 2. Okay, and I'll start a while loop so that I can look at the next element and I can check whether I am going in the increasing order, right? And the time when I see a decreasing order, at that time I will stop the while block. So while nums I is greater than equal to nums I plus 1, then I'll say I minus minus, because I am coming from the end of the array towards the 0th index, right? And I will make sure that I am not going beyond my bounds. I'll say I greater than equal to 0 and this one. Okay, so I greater than equal to 0 and nums I greater than equal to I plus 1, then I will continue the while loop and I will decrease the counter. Fine. Now after this while loop, I will have my number which needs to be swapped. So I will say int need swap, let's save this in this particular variable, equal to I. Yeah, after this we can just reverse the sequence, right, from I plus 1 to length minus 1, right? So I will say nums dot length minus 1. Fine. So this is common, we don't have to worry about any edge case, this is a common operation, right? Now after this, what we can do, if I is greater than equal to 0, then we want to do the swap operation. Okay, if you see this 3 2 1, for this particular case I will be actually minus 1. Okay, that's why we are passing 0 here. Okay, okay, here I can say nums, actually I should be passing nums array and then the starting index and the end index to our reverse method. We'll fill that reverse method later. Okay, so now if I greater than equal to 0, what we want to do, find the next greater element for ith element and then we want to swap them, right? So while nums I less than equal to nums of what? Nums of this need swap. This, as long as we have the element which are smaller than the need swap, then we continue, right? And we want to find the next greater element, right? So I'll say need swap here. Yeah, and I have to check the bounds here. So I'll say I is less than nums dot length and nums I less than equal to nums need swap. Then what we want to do, I plus plus. Okay. We find the number which has to be swapped, right? So I'll say swap, I'll pass the array and then I'll pass need swap and I. This is good. Yeah, so we are actually done with the steps already. We just have to fill the reverse method and swap method. Okay, so I'll quickly write the reverse method here, void reverse. We are not going to return anything, so reverse, reverse. Yep, we'll pass the array int array nums int start int end. We'll start a for loop and condition is start less than end, then start plus plus and minus minus and we'll call the swap method, right? Nums start and start plus and this is good. We don't have to initialize anything here, okay? And finally swap method. Int array nums, int I, int j, int temp equal to, we'll say nums I, and nums I equal to nums j. I am not going to explain this reverse and swap. I think it's very easy logic. I don't have to explain it again here. Okay, so nums j equal to temp, nums I equal to nums j equal to temp we set the nums I. This looks good to me. Nums fine, and this is good. Let's just test it now. Okay, run code. Cool. We'll pass 1 2 3 we have passed. Now we'll pass 3 2 1. Run code. Cool. Oops. 115. Cool. Now submit. Nice. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. Until then, bye, take care.